like to have an opportunity now to talk to some of our witnesses. And Senator Lee, thank you very much for being here this morning. Senator, despite the fact that Congress has repeatedly failed to pass the DREAM Act, the President recently unilaterally granted a de facto amnesty to many illegal immigrants. How do you see that, if any way, impacting the ability for millions and millions of Americans that are out of work finding a job?
Obviously, any decision that involves either loosening or tightening our immigration laws might have an effect, will inevitably have an effect on the job market by either contracting or expanding the supply of labor. So this is one of many factors that ought to apply in any public policy decision made within the federal government with regard to immigration laws, especially with regard to those laws that govern one's ability to work in this country as an immigrant. So absolutely, it will have an effect. It's difficult to quantify exactly what that effect might look like, in part because we don't know exactly how many people this might apply to. But the point is that these are legitimate policy concerns. There are legitimate policy arguments to be made on both sides of the DREAM Act issue. But the Constitution, in its opening line right after the preamble, in Article 1, Section 1, says that all legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in a Congress, which shall consist of a Senate and a House of Representatives. Now, the legislative powers encompass the power to legislate. To legislate is to make rules, rules carrying the force of generally applicable law. The coercive force of government will enforce those rules. Here, with this executive order, we have what is, in effect, a piece of legislation. It didn't go through Congress. So whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, whether you're a liberal or a conservative, whether you are pro-immigration reform or anti-immigration reform, especially if you're a member of Congress, and in any event, if you favor the rule of law, you should want that policy decision to be made by Congress.
Thank you, Senator.